Ever wonder how some companies are going all in on Bitcoin?
It's like really all in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today's deep dive,
Yeah.
we're focusing on MicroStrategy, a
MicroStrategy.
company that's basically put its money where its mouth is
They have
when it comes to the future of finance.
the future of finance.
So to get us started,
Sure.
can you give us a little background on MicroStrategy?
Yeah.
Like who are they? What do they do?
So MicroStrategy is...
And were they always focused on cryptocurrency?
No, they weren't, actually.
Okay.
They're a business intelligence firm
Okay.
founded back in 1989.
Wow. So they've been around for a while.
Yeah, they're not a newcomer by any means.
Okay.
They specialize in software,
Okay.
data analytics, and business strategy.
So not really your typical crypto company?
No, not initially.
Not initially.
Right.
Right.
But what's interesting is that they've made this huge shift in
Yeah.
recent years to become a major player in the Bitcoin world.
Okay, so we need to find out why
Exactly.
they did that.
That's what we're diving into.
All right, so let's get to the heart of it.
Let's do it.
How much Bitcoin does MicroStrategy actually own?
All right, so brace yourself because this number is pretty staggering.
Okay.
They hold a whopping 439,009 Bitcoins.
Whoa, 439,009.
You heard that right.
That is a mountain of Bitcoin.
It is a Bitcoin mountain.
Okay, so put that into perspective for us.
Okay, so at current market value, that translates to about $45.4 billion.
45.4 billion with a B.
Billion with a B.
Okay, that's a lot of money.
It's an astronomical sum.
That's insane.
It is.
So help me understand this.
Okay.
Why would a company that's been around since 1989,
Yeah.
that's focused on software, suddenly decide to put so much money into Bitcoin?
It's a fascinating question, and to understand it, we really need to dig into the thinking of MicroStrategy's CEO, Michael Saylor.
Okay, Michael Saylor.
He's been very vocal
Okay.
about his belief in Bitcoin as a superior store of value.
Okay, superior to what?
So he's comparing it to traditional assets like gold
Okay.
or government-issued currencies.
Okay, like the US dollar.
Exactly, the US dollar, euros,
Yeah.
yen,
Okay.
all of those.
So he thinks Bitcoin is better than all of those.
He does.
All right, so why does he think that?
His argument is centered around Bitcoin's decentralized nature
Okay.
and its limited supply.
Okay, so explain what that means for us.
Sure.
Like, why does that make it so special?
Okay, so with decentralization,
Okay.
it means that Bitcoin isn't controlled by any single entity,
Okay.
like a government or a bank.
Okay.
So it's immune to things like manipulation or
I see.
censorship
Okay.
that can sometimes plague traditional currencies.
All right, so what about this limited supply thing?
Right, so there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoins in existence.
Okay.
That's built into the code.
So that means it can't just be printed out of thin air.
Exactly. It's like digital gold,
Okay.
where there's a finite amount.
Okay. So Saylor's thinking that scarcity drives value.
Exactly, and this is key to his argument about Bitcoin being a hedge against inflation.
Okay, I'm starting to see how he connects the dots here.
Yeah.
But hang on.
Sure.
Isn't Bitcoin known for being super volatile?
You're absolutely right. Bitcoin is notorious for its price swings.
Right?
It's like a roller coaster.
It is.
Up and down.
So how does that fit in with this idea of it being a safe haven?
That's the billion-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
Because it seems counterintuitive, right?
It does.
You want stability.
Right.
But their strategy
Yeah.
seems to be playing the long game.
Okay.
They're essentially saying, look, we get it. There's short-term volatility,
Yeah.
but we believe that's insignificant compared to Bitcoin's long-term growth potential.
So they're saying ride the waves.
Ride the wave.
The tide is coming in.
Exactly. And they even compare it to the early days of the internet,
Okay.
where there was a lot of skepticism
Right.
and volatility.
But early adopters ended up reaping huge rewards.
Exactly. They see Bitcoin as a similar kind of technological revolution.
Wow. So they're going all in on this idea.
They are all in.
Okay, but let's play devil's advocate for a minute.
Yeah, let's do it.
Surely there are some downsides.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
There are risks involved.
Like, what are the potential downsides they might be facing?
Okay, so one of the biggest concerns is regulation.
Okay,
Governments around the world are still grappling with how to handle cryptocurrencies.
that's true.
right? And new regulations could come out
Yeah.
that significantly impact Bitcoin's value.
So their big bet could be completely undermined.
It's a possibility.
That's a scary thought.
It is a risk.
Okay, so what else?
Another concern is the environmental impact of Bitcoin mining. It
Okay.
uses a lot of energy,
It does.
a lot of computing power,
Yeah.
which can have a big carbon footprint.
Okay, so it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
Not quite. There are definitely challenges and risks to
Yeah.
consider.
Right. So
It's-
zooming out a little bit,
Yeah.
what about this whole idea of digital assets going mainstream?
Yeah.
Is MicroStrategy's move a sign of things to come?
It's hard to say for sure,
Okay.
but it's definitely a bold statement.
Yeah.
I mean, if a company like this
Yeah.
can make this kind of shift,
Right.
it does raise questions about the future of finance.
It does.
Like, imagine a world where companies just routinely hold
Yeah.
a portion of their treasury
Yeah.
in Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies.
They're kind of mind-blowing.
It's a different landscape,
Yeah, it really changes how we think about money.
for sure, and investment.
Yeah, and investments.
Yeah.
It's a whole new paradigm, potentially,
Yeah.
that we're stepping into.
So if a major company is willing to bet its future on Bitcoin,
Yeah.
what does this tell us about the evolving role of cryptocurrency in the global economy?
I think that's the question.
It is a big question.
To ponder, right?
It is.
Because it suggests
Yeah.
that maybe this is just the beginning.
The tip of the iceberg.
Exactly, the tip of the iceberg.
And there's a lot more to come.
And this deep dive into MicroStrategy gives us a glimpse
A glimpse
into this potential disruption
disruption
of traditional finance.
traditional finance.
Yeah.
That's happening
That could be happening right under our noses.
right under our noses.
This is really about more than just one company's investment strategy,
You got it.
right? It's a window into
We'll
a
see.
potential new digital economy.
Digital economy.
Yeah.
It's emerging.
Yeah, so is this a preview of the future?
Hmm.
Or is MicroStrategy just making a high-stakes gamble?
That's for you to decide.
It is.
What would you need to see
Yeah.
to convince you
Yeah.
one way or another?
It's something to think about
It is.
as you continue to learn more about this fascinating world of cryptocurrency.
Absolutely. Keep exploring. Keep learning.
Yeah, there's a lot to discover out there.
There is a lot out there.
It's amazing.
It is amazing.
Well, this has been a really fascinating deep dive.
It has.
I've learned a lot
Peace.
about MicroStrategy
Yeah.
and their big bet on Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
Thanks for joining us on this journey.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And to all our listeners out there, keep exploring.
Keep diving deep.
The answer might surprise you.
It just might.
We'll see you next time
Next time.
for another deep dive.
Another deep dive.